They got Jokic working against Dirk here. And what is that, Gallinari?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, knocks down a three-pointer in Denver. One of those news players was just involved in a turnover, Andrew Bogut. He is a great passer, and that was a very pretty finish right there by...
Playing with a guy like that, the guy can flat play the basketball game from a passing standpoint, from a rebounding, shot blocking standpoint. As you see, Dirk shoots the turnaround players as far as playing together. So it'll certainly take some time, but again, the bond out on the floor playing with each other, especially new guys. And over the last couple of years,
but in a starting role here late in the preseason. I like that drive to the basket by Matthews, and I think as Barnes rises up and connects on a shot, I tell you, Barnes knocking down a shot and his very much talked about preseason struggles and low shooting percentage in a position to put his best foot forward going into next week's game against Indiana.
You made a really good point the other night, Mark, as we see D-Will hit that mid-range jumper, and that was...
Has him out of the game. Bogut is on the bench with 3 fouls, and now another foul is called here as a basket is scored for Denver. The foul is on Dwight Powell, and Denver has an opportunity. Well, I mean, you know, when we talked to him on Media Day, I mean, among the things that he pointed out, number one, he feels like he's fully healthy. And the things you got to do from a rehab perspective. Rick pointed out tonight that you have an injury that sometimes takes 2 or 3 weeks to heal, but you and the staff have been working very, very hard with hopes of being ready for the opener next week against Indiana.
Yeah, no question. So it was just some bad luck that I had in practice.
Sure.
My arm was somewhere it didn't have to be, but I feel pretty good. I had a good workout today, so hopefully when they teammate, he's going to work hard, and he cares. He cares about his teammates and his team, so he's going to work.
And he has that championship pedigree as well.
Exactly. He's been there, done that.
You player of the week and won the team games that got him into the playoffs. What did that mean? What did that feel like?
Man, it was fun. It was awesome to be able to help my team out in the way that I...
Successful teams in the league, they get a lot of production off of their bench consistently. Yeah. You guys' bench last year, I thought doing the playoffs with OKC gave you a chance every night. What do we...
Yeah. I love this city. Playing in Dallas has been amazing. I hope I could do it for 5-6 more years.
Yeah.
No, but it's Maurice Ager.
Maybe Pops Mensah-Bonsu was in there.
Yeah. Those two, yeah.
You know, you're battling for that last roster spot. So you're watching Brasino by Harrison Barnes. You're watching Brasino. I know, obviously, that you have a nice connection with him because he's learning English right now and strictly a Spanish speaker coming in from Argentina. And Dorian Finney-Smith. All right, Harv, I'm sorry. How bright is Justin Anderson's future with the Mavericks? Hashtag FSSW Watch Party. What do you think, Harv? You know, that was something we saw a lot late last year. Justin moved into a consistent role. 22, 23, 24 minutes a game late in the regular season, 19, 20 minutes a game.
On the next, you know, it's just not 100 miles an hour all the time, and that's good. That's a good point you bring up about him. I see that also in this preseason.
And the guy to look at is a guy like Mark Jackson.
Right.
He slowed guys to death.
Right.
We wanted to do everything in a hurry, and I just think that at some point, as a professional athlete, not just in basketball, things have to slow down for you, and you see things a little bit differently.
Well, I mentioned earlier about him wanting to just be very inquisitive of.
President Greg Buckner, who will be the host and analyst, of course, this year for Mavs Live before and after every broadcast of Mavericks basketball on Fox Sports Southwest. They're joining us as well. I'll talk to him on Twitter quite often, that is. Where does Dirk finish in points at the end of the season? I know that he goes into it with 509 needed. Guys, I mean, Greg and Hart, you guys have both been around elite players, not just Dirk, but other great players. Right. And I tell this to people all the time. What makes Dirk Dirk? What made Kobe Kobe? Of course, the
Nowitzki been named to the All-Star team.
Yes. 4
plus
2.
Wow.
After practice was over, to go and work on his individual game.
Wow.
And that led to a first ballot Hall of Famer, Kobe Bryant, of course. And
that teams are using more and more in the evaluation process. Andrew Bogut is amongst the best in the league when it comes to those sort of next-level defensive numbers.
Well, I've been raving about the paint. He knows what to do with the basketball. So I'm anxious to see how things go for him this year in a new uniform, new system.
Here's Dirk over 2 defenders. Pretty looking shot knocked down by Dirk. How many times have
Coach Snyder is a great coach all around, in my opinion. And you got to stay healthy, man. But I think what's going to get them over the hump, provided they're able to stay for Oklahoma City. When you think about Oladipo, a young player, small in size as far as the defensive end of the floor is concerned, but they're going to have a variety of guys.
the Thunder?
Yeah, I think Westbrook, it could go either two ways. He can be like the old Allen Iverson with the Philadelphia 76ers, or he can be like LeBron, his first stint in Cleveland, where he took a bunch of guys to the final.
How they performed in the preseason, when Rick is using them in games, how much they're getting a chance to play. That there's 3 guys on the floor right now that you have to feel like. Any of you 2 gentlemen care to make a prediction or have a gut feeling, or have you evaluated a way that you think it should turn out?
Well, you know, you mentioned the sites that are talking about Brusino. He seems to me, even before any of that information came out, when I look at this group of guys, he looks to me to be the one with the most upside of comfortable. I mean, you know, it's like it's going to be tough. Every one of them is probably sitting on pins and needles because, I mean, I think if they evaluate themselves, at least in these game situations.
You know, and that's the thing. You lock yourself into a roster spot. The question becomes whether or not either of those guys will actually make a contribution to this Maverick basketball team. It's one to actually be in a rotation.
Brusino's averaged just over 5 points in 14 minutes a game in the preseason, 48% shooting from the floor, 54% from the three-point line. So
there you go, right there.
He's young, he can shoot the ball, he can play in the pick and roll. Are we going to end up seeing some like really small line?
If he's playing well, Rick will give them an opportunity. If you continue to play well, you're in the rotation. We've seen that with a lot of different players. Raymond Felton, Salah Mejri last year.
With Rick and Caleb and Melvin Hunt yet to really share this with those guys?
I was pulling for that for you.
Is this going to be after the meeting?
Dinner, but you're not getting in that dinner.
Not going to let you get up on him.
He won't do that.
All right, we're going to have a timeout here when we go into the 6-minute mark. The dude can defend, and he can be switched on to different positions. Can you keep a guy who has defensive upside? Can you keep a 3-and-D guy, but the shooting percentage has been...
I don't think that's right. 1998.
Oh, he got it! Wow! All right, I'm going to give you your choice. You can either get a pair of tickets to wife or girlfriend. All right, I'm sorry I didn't want to push it along too fast.
Let's go with the tickets.
Oh, we got tickets! You got to take her now. You know that, right?
Of course.
Okay, very good. Joel, we got Joel here, and this time it's personal. Joel, for a Wesley Matthews jersey, where did Wesley Matthews play his college basketball?
We think elevated into more prominent roles than they've had in their career. That really excites me that it's going to happen this year.
That's well said. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
That when guys don't have the experience, it's always a question. Youth over experience. The great teams have a combination of both. I mean, you're talking about Dwight Powell. You're talking about Justin Anderson. These are second, third-year players that you're expecting to make a contribution. So.
They just ran the clock a couple
get it over.
That happens with the 6th grade shooting stars sometimes, guys. Sometimes that clock just runs, and Coach Wade starts yelling at the clock keeper, hey, these are valuable seconds.
Now, why in the world did they just stop the clock with 3.5 seconds to go?
I don't think they're on our schedule.
I don't think that they realize that everybody is ready to put a wrap on it for the night. There we go.
Boys.
That's it.
It's a wrap.
All right. You guys did a great job tonight. The dancers and the maniacs were fantastic. And again, back here behind us at the Jack Daniels Old Number 7 Club, the MFFLs were fantastic.